Final annihilation of the life form known as man. Let the attack begin.
What's good, YouTube? So I decided I'm going to guess narrate Ray's video since there's only one of Ray's videos, and I have a whole bunch of Sakura's videos in my database. So yeah, gonna guess narrate Ray. It's Ray versus Dajjal, who is a fellow YouTuber, TheRed, and then a bunch of numbers afterwards. Anyways, Ray led off with Heatran, and his opponent led off with Rotom Wash. Rotom Wash went for the Hydro Pump on the Blissey because Blissey switched in. And then Blissey's just going to go for that Thunder Wave, hoping to get the Parahax on Rotom, but, you know, Parahax on Ferrothorn works just as well. And, yeah, well, Tentacruel's going to come in as Heatran goes for that Hidden Power. I don't know. It did neutral damage, so I'm going to guess Grass, probably. And, yeah, unfortunately, Tentacruel's going to set up some Toxic Spikes, but, you know, Starmie's like, hey, I'm going to Psyshock, which doesn't do that much, unfortunately. And yeah, Starmie's going to switch out into Heatran because Heatran resists the Toxic Spikes. Ferrothorn's going to break through the Paralysis and get up the Stealth Rocks, which is not good. And yeah, he just goes for the Dragon Pulse this time around. And it's going to do pretty good damage. But you know, it is kind of a bulky Rotom, so that's not that good. And he is going to switch out into Ferrothorn, I guess, predicting to switch into Blissey. Which, yeah. Good prediction right there. And yeah, Ray's Blissey's going to come out, and Skarmory's going to come in and, you know, avoid the Leech Seed, because, you know, Leech Seed is kind of gambly. And it looks like the Skarmory's run the Stealth Rocks, so it sets up those rocks, which is fun. And unfortunately, Leech Seed hits the second time, and his opponent goes into Rotom Wash as Ray just starts setting up some spikes right here. Because, you know, spikes are always fantastic. And, well, you know, Skarmory's switching out into Blissey in case, you know, Hidden Power Fire or something like that. But, yeah, Rotom just goes for the Thunderbolt, doesn't do that much to Blissey, which is great. And, yeah, Blissey's health is, like, insanely high. Not gonna lie. So, yeah, Mamoswine comes in, and, you know, Blissey goes for that Wish. And, yeah, you know, just pretty standard stuff right here. And Skarmory's going to come in, I guess, expecting an Icicle Crash. And, you know, takes it pretty boss-like. And, you know, Skarmory's at full health again, which is fantastic. Now Rotom Wash is going to come in, and Skarmory's just going to Whirlwind into the Tentacruel, which, you know, could be bad, could be good, who knows. But that Tentacruel is going to Rapid Spin off the stones and the spikes, unfortunately. And Skarmory's just going to Whirlwind. I guess Skarmory was just hoping to phase so he could get damage, but, you know, there's the fact that that Tentacruel just spun him away. So he goes into Quagsire because Quagsire is always unaware. I mean, Quagsire is unaware of everything around him. And yeah, Quagsire is going to miss his attack on the Ferrothorn, which kind of sucks, but it's whatever. And yeah, Heatran's going to come in, because Heatran can totally, you know, make this Ferrothorn be like, oh no, it's Heatran, let's run away. And, you know, Heatran's just going to go for that Hidden Power. Once again, it is neutral, so, like I am saying, I'm pretty sure it's Grass, because that would make perfect type coverage for Heatran. Well, Starmie's going to come in now, as Tentacruel sets up the second layer of Toxic Spikes, which now it gets really bad because now it has a Toxic effect. But, you know, Starmie's got that Rapid Spin, so bye-bye. Both the Toxic Spikes and the Stealth Rocks are spun away, which is great. And, yeah, you know, Heatran's going to come in on Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn's going to get up another Leech Seed, which is the only reason Ferrothorn is annoyingly bulky. And yeah, Heatran this time is just going to go for that standard Fire Blast and do pretty much just as much as a Hidden Power Grass, so, you know, it should have been going for the Fire Blast all along. So yeah, Blissey's going to come in on the Scald and, you know, Blissy's health is getting kind of low and probably needs to be up. So Blissey goes for the wish and, you know, switches out into Quagsire to go ahead and heal up Quagsire. And Quagsire takes a close combat and fairly decently. I'm suspecting it's probably a Life Orb Infernape, especially since the Life Orb was just revealed. And yeah, Dragonite's going to come in and U-turn's going to happen, which it does like nothing, so you know, he's going to be able to heal up with leftovers back to the multi-scale. Except he doesn't have leftovers apparently, so you know, that's not too good. So yeah, Icicle Crash on this Skarmory, not going to do that much, and he goes for the Stealth Rocks because he doesn't want his opponent to keep switching, and potentially he's going to force out the Tentacruel. So close combat goes on Dragonite, does like nothing. So you know, Dragonite, if it wanted to, could have extreme speeded, and in fact he did go for it, but you know, he switched out, and Dragonite takes some pretty good Iron Barbs damage. So Dragonite switches out again, goes into Heatran because Heatran can, you know, pretty much scare out any fire type. And, well, you know, Tentacruel's going to come in, he makes the correct play, and goes for that Earth Power. So, there goes the Toxic Spike setup, and Rapid Spin, except it lived with a smidgen. And I'm guessing he had thought that his opponent was going to switch out because Tentacruel was at such low health or something. But no, that's not the case. Tentacruel stays in. Now Tentacruel switches out, so since it spun out the rocks and everything. So yeah, pretty much Heatran's going to switch in and threaten this Ferrothorn again. Ferrothorn's going to get on the Leech Seed. And Heatran's going to get a nice little wish right there. So yeah, you know, right now it's taken forever for a Pokemon to die. It's kind of ridiculous. But the Dragon Pulse goes, and finally the Tentacruel's down, so no more Toxic Spikes, no more spinning. So now he's like, hey, this is a good time to set up all the entry hazards that I'm gonna need. So yes, Ferrothorn, Thunder Waves, Skarmory, but since Ferrothorn's paralyzed, it's still gonna be slower. Skarmory sets up the Stealth Rocks, and Ferrothorn goes for the Leech Seed. And then First Layer Spikes goes up as Infernape switches in. And yeah, you know, Infernape recovers a little bit of HP thanks to Leech Seed. And Quagsire comes in on the close combat. Not really going to take it nicely because, you know, it just, yeah, Quagsire is probably specially defensive, chances are. So Dragonite comes in and takes his close combat. And, you know, I'm sure he's just thinking, oh, I can revenge kill. But he does switch out into Blissey, I guess because he's wanting to get a wish. And yeah, the Mach Punch just gets a crit. So there's no more Blissey, so his healing to his team has kind of gone, which is not good. And yeah, he kind of hits Rotom Wash with a Fire Blast. Does pretty good damage. And he goes again, and yeah, almost KOs the Rotom Wash, but Rotom Wash barely survives and gets off a Pain Split. So now this is not good because Heatran's in pretty dire trouble. So he goes to Quagsire, expecting, I guess, a Hydro Pump. And well, it turns out it's Thunderbolt, so it's not as bad. So yeah, he's going to switch out into his Latias as Ray goes ahead and uses Recover on his Quagsire to go ahead and get more health. And, well, you know, going to get tricked. Choice Specs now, and Quagsire just goes for the Toxic on Latias, which even though Latias got the leftovers, now it is in fantastic trouble because it has Toxic. So Starmie comes in on a Thunderbolt, unfortunately. So yeah, that's going to be a dead Starmie. Sorry, still getting over the cold. Anyways, Heatran's going to come in to threaten out Latias. And, you know, he goes for that Fire Blast on the Ferrothorn, and that's a dead Ferrothorn. So, yeah, Ferrothorn's gone now. And, you know, Latias comes in, and he switches into Quagsire. I guess to, I don't know, take the Thunderbolt or Surf, if that's what he was going for. So, Draco Meteor goes ahead and happens, and Quagsire faints, unfortunately. So yeah, no more Quagsire. So, well, Heatran's gonna come in, and then switch out, and go to Skarmory, I guess predicting him to switch or something. And, well, Skarmory's in on Rotom Wash, which is not really the best, but what are you gonna do? So, Skarmory takes a Thunderbolt like nothing, and yeah, it goes down, unfortunately. So now Dragonite's gonna come in and go for that Outrage. Now he's locked into the Outrage, though. And Mamoswine's coming in, which is not good because he can just go for that Ice Shard and get the revenge kill. So yeah, there's the revenge kill. Heatran's going to come in, and he's going to switch out into Infernape, and Heatran, and it's just going to go for the Dragon Pulse because, well, that's essentially the best one to go for. And then Dragon Pulse goes again, and that's going to KO Mamoswine. And then Latias is going to come in and go. Heatran's going to go for the Dragon Pulse and win. So yeah, Choice Scarf Heatran is pretty boss. But yeah, that's Ray's battle that he asked me to guest narrate like a while back. I had it recorded, but I never got to guest narrating. I'll leave the link to his channel in the description so you can go sub him and all that. But as for this episode of guest narration, we're going to go ahead and say, have a good day, YouTube, and see you later.